Alright, a quick word on what this is and why I'm doing it this way. Like most rugby fans, I spend half the week talking about the next round of games, in the pub, on Twitter, at the ground, shouting at the telly. Well, let's get started. So how did we fare, and how did we fare on Saturday the 13th of December? Well, first of all, it was Birmingham, Moseley and Clifton, and Birmingham Moseley took a 31-point win. On a simple win-loss basis, Seniormash won. And even on our scoring system, I had the win. So that was good. Second game up was Blackheath versus Leeds, and Blackheath took the game by 8 points. And again, on a simple basis, Seniormash beat AI, and on the scoring system, I took 5 points, AI took 3. Next up, Dings versus Leicester Lions. One for the bottom of the table, but Dings by 17 points. And this was the one. AI had gone for a Leicester Lions win. I went for Dings, so I took the win. Then it was Plymouth Albion and Sale FC. Always felt this was going to be a close game. Sale, as they go by the name the Dogs, are pretty determined, and to be fair to them, they took the trip down to Devon very seriously and came away losing by 10 points. Again, on a simple basis, I was closest, so Seniormash took the points. Then it was Rosslyn Park versus Rams, and both myself and AI went for a Rosslyn Park win. Well done Rams, taking it away from home by 11 points. Then there was Rotherham versus Sedgley Park. I, of course, normally would go for Sedge, but on their recent form, being away from home, I took Rotherham for the win, as did AI. The actual result, well, Rotherham by 25 points. And yet again, as I'd seen firsthand more recently, Sedge going down to 10 men in that last 10, 15 minutes, and all of a sudden having been in with a shout of maybe 2 points, suddenly the score ran away from them. And finally, TJs versus Bishop Stortford. Well, both AI and myself went for TJs, being at home, free scoring team. But guess what? Bishop Stortford took it by 2 points. Well, how does the scoreboard look between AI? Well, this week, Seniormash, on a simple win-loss basis, took the round 4-1. Quite pleased with myself on that, to be honest. And on the scoring system, still Seniormash, this time 20 points to 15. So pretty neck and neck over 2 weeks. Let's get a few more results under our belt and we'll have a more detailed look at progression. This coming weekend, there's a game on the Friday night lights, I always like that, and that's Rosslyn Park versus Tonbridge Julians. Then on the Saturday, we've got Bishop Stortford at home to Blackheath, Clifton welcome Plymouth Albion, Dings Crusaders see Rams visiting, Yorkshire Derby, Leeds versus Rotherham, Midlands Derby, Leicester Lions, Birmingham Moseley, and of course, a Manchester derby, Sale FC versus Sedgley Park. Well, how are we predicting these things? We fed the information, so that's 3 weeks of results and the league table into AI, and AI has predicted Rosslyn Park by 5, Blackheath by 5, Blackheath by 9, Plymouth Albion by 14, Rams by 8, Rotherham by 18, Birmingham Moseley by 10, and Sale FC by 12. For my part, I'm slightly different. I'm Rosslyn Park by 12, I'm Bishop Stortford by 5, Albion by 10, Rams by 12, Rotherham by 20, Birmingham Moseley by 15, and I really fancy Sedge to take the win away from home. Won't be easy, but I'm sure they will do it. Let's put a bit more detail. Let's just take a quick look at some context. First game up, Rosslyn Park versus TJs. Rosslyn Park a third, but have a little inconsistency. That loss to Rams did surprise me, I've got to say. TJs, mid-table, always seem competitive, and I always fancy them to score points. But gut instinct is telling me that it's home advantage that's going to matter this week. So I've gone with Rosslyn Park. Then it's Bishop Stortford and Blackheath. Thinking about the background to this, Blackheath, well, they're fourth, excellent recent form, that big win against Sedge. But Bishop Stortford, I don't know. I just think they may do it. And I'm going to go with Bishop Stortford by 5 points. AI doesn't think so. AI's gone with Blackheath by 9. Moving on, it's Clifton versus Plymouth Albion. Albion really going strongly in second place. Put 50 odd points past the likes of Sedge. Clifton in that lower mid-table always seem to struggle against the top teams. Albion win for me by 10 points. And then it's Stings and Rams. Well, Rams, they're capable of surprising any of the top teams. I love the setup at Rams. I think they're one of the best organised clubs in National League Rugby. I've always favoured them to be a contender for the championship. I've taken them to win by 12 against Stings. Good luck to Rams. Then it's that Yorkshire derby. Always like a Yorkshire derby. Leeds versus Rotherham. Wow, that's going to be an interesting one. Rotherham really are a physical team and they're tough to beat. They're top of the league. And some would say they're currently in a ruthless form. Leeds, I thought they were making a bit of a comeback and then they've wobbled. And they do seem to ship a lot of points. And on that basis, I've actually gone with Rotherham by 20. And then it's Leicester Lions versus Birmingham Moseley, a Birmingham team that seems to be rejuvenated. Midlands derby that should warm the cockles. And for me, it's Birmingham Moseley by 15. They seem to be improving. The wins that they're getting are big and they seem to be getting their act together. And finally, it's Sale FC versus Sedgley Park. Hayward Road. I actually won't be going because I find parking there a right pain, but that's another story for another day. But I've been impressed by Sale this season. They're really digging in and they're bringing the results home. So congratulations to them. Sedge, as you know, my favourite National League Rugby team. And with it being Christmas, I can't do anything than say Sedge to win by 5. My competitor, that is AI, thinks it's going to be Sale by 12. Let's face it, Sale have got the stronger recent form, and Sedge, for the first time in many years under Scott Barrow's leadership, are leaking points, and the defence doesn't seem as strong as it has done in the past couple of years. don't know what it is. When I watch them, they don't look as physical as they've done in previous years. Whilst they tackle everything that moves, what moves always seems to get an extra couple of yards. Whereas the last 10 years, when Sedge have tackled, people have gone backwards in the tackle. But I'm a believer, and I'm going to go with Sedgley Park. So those are my predictions. It's over to you, and see you next week to see if Seniormash is still beating artificial intelligence. Enjoy your rugby.